you often find yourself feeling out of touch with society? Do you feel like your grandmother when she leans over and whispers in your ear, "Darling, what's bukkake?" All of these newfangled words and phrases such as ableism and heteromantic demisexual making you feel like a right old cunt? Then worry not, my obsolete friends. I shall endeavour to educate you with Dicko's short guide to social justice jargon, part 1. Remember, it's 2016, motherfucker, and that means a few things. For example, the choices and decisions that you make in life do not define you. In fact, there's only 3 main criteria that define you as an individual. Haha, you'll soon see the irony. Your race, your gender, and your sexual orientation. And I'm not talking about 69ing. See, in today's ultra-progressive society, you don't have agency and individuality, you piece of wet shit. You have inherited privilege, and it's about time you had it checked. See, the way privilege works is as follows. You earn points based on biology. The more points you have, the more valid your argument is, and the more resources should be handed over to you. Simple, right? Points can be calculated rather simply. Male, minus 1,000. Female, plus 50. Other kin, plus 500. Transsexuals, plus 1,000. White, minus 100. Asian, minus 10. Hispanic, plus 200. Black, plus 300. Straight, minus 100. Bisexual, plus 50. Homosexuals, plus 300. Other, plus 500. Remember, the more points you earn, the more epic win times you will have during any debate. The West is now essentially top trumps for liberals. Probably want to avoid using that word, though. That's like minus 500 points alone.
Now, this might not seem as complicated as it sounds, and with something as self-explanatory as body shaming, you would think that this term would be universal and apply to both genders. But you'd be more wrong than a pedophile in a Barney suit at a children's party. The act of body shaming only really applies to the female demographic because, according to social justice warriors, their feelings are the only ones worth protecting. But don't worry, that's okay. It's totally not sexist. In fact, it's the opposite of sexist because men are already privileged, so it creates an equilibrium and balance is restored. Moving on, fat shaming can be done explicitly, for example, using the word fat, telling people that being fat is unhealthy, and people that being fat is not something to normalize, telling people that being fat is not considered sexually desirable. But what you probably didn't know is that fat shaming can be done implicitly, for example, not being fat, using attractive, slim, healthy-looking models in fashion, being the opposite of fat, choosing sexual partners who are not overweight, making seats on public transport a standard size that would comfortably sit one regular-sized human. Remember, being fat is absolutely not a choice. It's like being born with a birthmark or a head. It just is. Except that this birthmark is a result of consuming more calories than you burn, which over time leads to increased levels of body fat and other related health conditions, which is completely out of your control.
Remember back in the day when racism had a very clear and distinct definition? The belief that a race was either inferior or superior to another, and or making derogatory remarks about someone due to their race. Well, apparently, that definition is simplistic and not nuanced enough. So with that in mind, I present to you the new and improved HD remastered 2016 edition with bonus DLC edition of Racism. On side note, white is not a race, so any racist remarks towards them don't count. What? I know it doesn't make sense, but fuck you, stop asking questions. The 2016 updated list of official races includes, but is not limited to, people who live in a particular country that isn't predominantly white, which isn't a race. For example, Mexicans. Anyone who follows in the religion of Islam, because Islam is totally 100% a race. The 2016 updated list of racist offences include being white and nationalistic, being white and male, being white and having ancestors who participated in the slave trade, being white and bringing up statistics about other races, ethnic groups and religion, being white and not wanting open border policies, being white and speaking out against violent acts from other groups who aren't white. Remember, unless you're white, you can't be racist.
Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilistic, gets me out of